Yo, what's good? It's me, the Avatar Fanatic, and today I'm gonna be talking about Aang and I'm gonna be talking about Korra and who would win if they versed each other. So this video is about Aang versus Korra. Like the video if you guys enjoy, subscribe to the channel, check out some of my other videos, and let's get on with the video. Alright, so we got Aang versus Korra, and basically what we'll be doing is this will be part of the Who Would Win series or the Avatar Battle series, and basically determining, each, character's strengths and weaknesses, and overall who would win. Now, let's go over Aang first. So we got Aang, and I think it's easy to point out what the guy's strengths are, and I think his strength is obviously airbending. I think he's pretty good at earthbending, and I think he's pretty good at, waterbending. Now, his firebending is a little bit lackluster compared to his other three elements, as he, learned it a lot later in the series compared to the other two. Aang has really good agility. He has very good evasiveness, especially, I mean, airbenders usually evade, but his evasiveness is like second to none. It's like Amon type levels, like Zahir type levels of evasiveness. And he's really good. And he has, multiple, you know, things in his arsenal that people don't know. Like people don't know that he even invented the air scooter. The little thing that he floats on top of the air ball, and then, he just basically it's like a scooter. Yeah, I mean, I'll throw up a picture on the screen, but it's pretty interesting nonetheless. At 12 years old, he mastered, he mastered airbending. Like, who masters an element at 12 years old? Who actually does that? And and be able to interpret that he really didn't know that he was the Avatar until like days before the Fire Nation attacked, or a little, maybe months before, if that. The fact that he mastered airbending that quick, it was actually remarkable, because I don't know, he might have been the airbender to master the elements the quickest. I mean, I might be wrong, but we really don't know enough about Zahir. I don't know how old Janora is. She's probably around like 14 or 15 in the show, because um what's his name? Because she got the boyfriend, whatever his name was. I forgot his name. It started with a K, but um yeah. Aang is really strong because he has, multiple elements, and he's obviously the Avatar, but he's shown great, he anticipates things really well. He can evade really well. He has a lot of, a lot of people, a lot of people face him, and no one's like matched up to him. Like the first time he ever tried firebending, he he put an insane blast into it, and he didn't expect it. He wasn't happy with himself, but you saw his first ever blast of firebending, and it was an insane blast. And you know, you have Korra, who is a lot better at like all of the elements rather than Aang. I mean, her airbender is kind of lackluster. Her airbending ability is kind of lackluster, but her other three are fully mastered, and that was the only one she had. Now, I don't know if she mastered airbending, but she was definitely like there. She was pretty good. And Korra was a bit older and a bit more polished in all of the bending departments than Aang was, apart from airbending. And I think that like she had a lot more, development done to her already. But I think her peak ability was less, because Aang, even with like not being like insanely good at those elements as he was in airbending, he still seemed a lot stronger than Korra, especially in the Avatar state. The Avatar state is, what I think sets him apart from Korra. While Korra, like in like a fight, might be a little bit stronger than Aang. Aang in his Avatar state is like 50 times stronger than Korra ever is. And it's just Aang's Avatar state is harder to get into, while Korra can like activate it when she wants. But Aang has like this innate ability to have this insane amount of force in his avatar state that's just insurmountable. I mean, you had one of the strongest, if not the strongest, firebenders alive, you know, Ozai fight him, and once Aang activated his avatar state, I mean, he had no shot. He had literally no shot. Aang was destroying him from then on, and it just seemed like he was just outmatching him. Now, I do have to give Korra some props, because, you know, she has some things on Aang that Aang doesn't have, like metal bending. Like, she can metal bend. She's the first avatar that can metal bend. And, you know, that's a big thing if, like, she can manage to trap him. Or, you know, if she can manage to trap him with metal and, like, immobilize him, you know, that could be a really good thing for her if, you know, we would put them up in a hypothetical fight, you know. In theory, if she immobilizes him, I don't think Aang has much of a way to get out, because I don't think it's like Boomy or Zuko or Iroh where they can, like, you know, either like spit fire or like bend through their face. I don't think Aang can do that, but I could be wrong. But I don't know if like Aang has the ability to get out once he's immobilized. Now, it would be very hard to immobilize like a person like Aang, and I think maybe the only time that he ever like really got immobilized was when like he got bloodbended by Hama. Now, I don't know if Korra can bloodbend. I don't think she can. At least there's nothing in the show that shows she can, and unless she learned it later, or unless Aang even learned it later, I don't see that happening. And plus, it's outlawed, so I don't know if it would be in the rules of a fight, but Amon used it, like, you know, um, Tarlock used it and stuff like that. I mean, if they can use it, why wouldn't they be able to use it? But if, you know, someone can like blood bend Aang, or if someone could, you know, metal bend Aang into being trapped, that's a possibility that I could see Korra pulling off. I also think Korra's a little bit more like, you know, I think she's a little bit more, you know, serious than Aang in a way, because Aang was like this like child who just wanted to have fun, and Korra was this one who was just focused and focused and focused on getting her, you know, her bending down. So in their later years, once Korra reaches her prime and stuff, like she I don't know if like we really haven't seen much of Korra in her prime, at least in like the shows. While we have seen a little bit of Aang in his prime, and he just, you know, destroyed Yakone, like absolutely demolished Yakone, and even though that's not much, but it's enough to show that he's extremely strong, definitely stronger than he was, you know, in his you know, in his early years, like when he was like 12, 11, 12, 13 years old. He was 12, but I don't know if he reached 13 by the end of the show. But, you know, it does remind me of like a thing where Aang is just like one of those like anomaly avatars, while Korra is like one of those regular avatars, and for that reason I think Aang would win in a fight, solely because, you know, at 12 he was insane. Like at 12 he was a master like elements, while Korra was like 16 and a master at 3 or something, which is insane as well. But I think her peak value is just not as good, and I think you know, I think Aang's peak was just like miles better, especially when it came to Avatar state, and I think that that's especially, you know, valid to point out, because the Avatar state is like the pinnacle of the Avatar, and, you know, Korra, I just don't think, simply she doesn't compare to Aang. Now I might be biased and I might be like an Aang fanboy here, but I think like out of 10 fights, let's rate it out of 10 fights, right? I think Korra could maybe take 1 or 2 max. Like, I don't think she stands much of a chance. Let's say Prime versus Prime, right? Unless Korra gains some insane new power or gets bloodbending during her prime, I don't see Aang losing to her that much. I think maybe if Aang can get caught off guard, you know, and if he doesn't have the ability to evade, again, if he's mobilized, like I might be underestimating Korra a little bit here, but I genuinely think that she doesn't have much on Aang, when a lot of the time in her missions she was helped by people, and even though Aang was helped a lot by, you know, Katara and Sokka and like, Toph, but I think when it came down to it with like Ozai, right? he was 1v1ing Ozai, and then once he got into Avatar state, he demolished Ozai. He was only 12 in that Avatar state. That's better than Korra's at like 20 or 16, however old she is, you know. Um, and I find that I found that Korra that when she faced like all of the bosses, she didn't really go by herself. Like let's go season 1. You had Amon. Did she face Amon herself? I mean, she faced Amon a couple of times, but it really was like a crew of people that helped with Amon. Season 2, you had Unavatu. Okay, Unavatu by herself, apart that Janora basically saved her life. I mean, not her life, but basically her avatar. And you had season 3 where it was Zahir, and with Zahir, she had the whole crew with her to face Zahir, and then she even lost against Zahir. Like, she lost against everybody. She legit lost against everybody. She got her powers taken away by Amon, while Aang never lost to Ozai. I mean, it looked like he was gonna lose, and he got lucky a couple of times, especially with Azula lightning in. She hit the lightning on him, and him with the back on the mountain, and sharp spot just happens to where his back was. It was pretty lucky. Let's not get it twisted, but especially season 4, she lost against Kuvira, and then they're gonna take Korra, and then Kuvira beat Korra, and then Korra got out barely in time because Opal and I keep forgetting who was the other Airbender. It starts with a K. I forgot his name. I mentioned him twice in this video. But him, they saved Korra with like a smoke bomb or something like that, right? I just think Korra just needs like way too many bailouts to even like win. And I think Aang never really got those bailouts. I mean, he maybe got it a couple times with the Katara, water, and like with the healing water, and a couple of times where against people like Jet, where Aang didn't like him, then Katara got caught off guard, and then everything had to happen with Jet, and then with Zuko where he got captured, and then Katara had to bail him out then. But it was mostly like Aang being immobilized and not being able to do anything that led to him. With Korra, it was just plain like she got beat. You know what I mean? Like she just got outplayed, and that's why I think Aang would beat Korra in a fight, probably like 8-2 or 9-1, because his bending is just better, especially in Avatar state. And I think Aang could easily get an Avatar state in his older years, because it showed like against Yakone, he got into Avatar state like 4 times before he finally like outwilled his blood bending and then just took his powers. And I think especially because that was his prime year, that looked like prime Aang right there. And with Korra, I'd assume her like Avatar state would become more powerful, but I don't assume that it would be more powerful than Aang's. Like Aang's Avatar state was probably like one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful Avatar state of all time. And for that reason, I'd pick Aang over Korra like 8-2 or 9-1, maybe even a 10-0, maybe. But I don't think it's that close. And list why you would agree or disagree with me in the comments down below. Like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel also if you enjoyed the video. And this is me, the Avatar Fanatic, out.